Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is taking steps to enter the 2020 presidential campaign. As our Ed O'Keefe reported yesterday, Gillibrand is in the early stages of forming a presidential exploratory committee. An official announcement is expected in the coming days. But we got a preview tonight when she sat down with Stephen Colbert.
I'm going to fight for other people's kids as hard as I would fight for my own, which is why I believe that health care should be a right and not a privilege. It's why I believe we should have better public schools for our kids, because it shouldn't matter what block you grow up on. And I believe that anybody who wants to work hard enough should be able to get whatever job training they need to earn their way into the middle class.
Gillibrand would be the third woman to enter the 2020 race. She would join Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who announced her exploratory committee on New Year's Eve, and Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, who says she plans to make an official announcement in the coming week. And here with me on set is Democratic strategist Antjuan Seawright. He is the founder and CEO of Blueprint Strategy, LLC. Antjuan, so great to have you with us. Thank you so much for being here. What does Gillibrand bring to the table in terms of Democratic nominee?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the senator from New York. I'm from South Carolina, so we believe in the South. Opportunity dances with those on the dance floor. So now she's on the dance floor, so welcome to the dance floor. I think Senator Gillibrand has her own unique niche. She was kind of been an outright on the front lines of this whole Me Too movement, and she's been known for her being in the fight on women issues, so I think she brings that to the table. But what I'm so excited about as a Democrat is the fact that after Hillary Clinton's historic nomination, being the first woman to ever be nominated by a major party for president, we will now probably shatter a record of having more women than ever running a Democratic presidential preference primary. And that's exciting. They all have their own unique niche. And I don't think we're done as Democrats from having more announcements from women. We all suspect the senator from California, Senator Harris, to make an announcement very soon, maybe even MLK Day. And so who knows what the future may hold, but I'm excited.
It is exciting. I mean, we said this was the year of the woman congresswoman. Right. This could be the election of the female presidential candidate. We will see. Tulsi Gabbard already threw her hat in the ring, Congresswoman.
A veteran, has her own unique niche, and she will make no apologies about her being a very progressive candidate and taking a progressive stance on the issues. And so, again, I think that this argument that Republicans somehow try to make that Democrats do not have a bench, then this will prove them wrong. Also, if you're wondering about what's going on under the big tent called the Democratic Party, I think you're going to see now more than ever over the next several months what the diversity is like under the big tent called the Democratic Party.
All right. Speaking of diversity, former HUD Secretary Julian Castro also announced his candidacy. What is he bringing to the table, and what are you excited about with him?
Well, he brings a number of things. One, he is a mayor, a former mayor, the mayor of San Antonio, where he led on many progressive issues. Most of those issues we as a country face head on every single day. But he also served as a HUD secretary under the historic 44th president of the United States, Barack Obama. So he brings that. But he's also Latino. Yeah. And the black and brown population is a strong segment in the Democratic Party. And so he brings that to the table. And he's young. And so he brings excitement and energy, and he gives people something to vote for. I think he will have a message. Again, he will be unapologetic about his progressiveness and the things that he stands for. And I think he's going to bring that to the table. And so you're going to have a lot of people competing for the same pool of voters from a lot of different places. But he's from Texas. Yeah. And Texas will have a big say-so. Not as much as South Carolina, of course.
Of course.
But Texas will have a large say-so in the Democratic presidential primary.
Well, speaking of Texas Democrats, Beto O'Rourke was reportedly recently asked about his immigration policy and didn't give specifics. I mean, we're talking about a border state, Texas, one in which immigration is a very, very important issue. I mean, does he need to crystallize his ideas around this soon?
Keep in mind it's early. And for him, it's a wait-and-see game. Everyone is waiting to see what he's going to do. So at this point, he needs to kind of, from a 50,000-foot perspective, brush against the issues that people are thinking about or that the voters have proven time again that's on their minds. And we know that a majority of Americans feel like we need to do something about the border. We know that 70% of the American people want to deal with this issue of border security, but we also know that majority of the Americans do not see the solution that Donald Trump said says is the solution.
But that's also why you would
that's
also why you would sort of expect Beto O'Rourke from El Paso, Texas. And I'm saying this as someone who actually used to live in El Paso herself. Immigration is an issue that you're faced with every day. So it's sort of surprising that you haven't thought about it in a very...
Well, just because he has not revealed it does not mean he's thought about it. And again, you have to look at it this way. Somehow or another, Republicans have fooled or hoodwinked the American people that the wall and border security are two different issues.
Oh, absolutely.
And what Democrats have been saying, I think you'll hear this from the former Congressman O'Rourke, you will hear that border security is an issue all by itself, and the wall is two separate.
And it's a very nuanced issue, and I think anybody that actually lives in a border region will tell you how nuanced it is.
And here's the other thing you may or may not know. Not one single representative who represents the southern border is in favor of a wall. And so it would be premature, I think, for a potential presidential candidate, O'Rourke, to come out and say, here's what my immigration plan looks like, especially if there's the wait and see period about what the Congress will do.
Well, speaking of wait and see, are some candidates waiting to see what Joe Biden will do before announcing?
Yes and no. So you will have what I call some B-level candidates who will wait and see because they know that the vice president will bring a unique infrastructure automatically when he enters the race. But you also see now that there's some people who will not wait. You see announced candidates already who are already on the ground, on the grind, making their case and being unapologetic about it. So you're going to have a mixed bag. However, I do caution the vice president to not wait too late to get into the game because it is not the election of 2016 where it was Bernie versus Hillary. And his real battleground test will be the possibility of 2 or 3 African-American candidates in the race when majority of the Democratic primary vote will be centered around the African-American vote. And for the first time in a very long time, or maybe the first time period, we have a potential qualified African-American female candidate who will be in the race. And that puts the vice president in a unique position. So we don't know. So if you're listening to Vice President Biden, do not wait too late.
Do not wait too late. Antjuan Seawright, thank you so much for coming to see us tonight.